Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something completely mundane, something we overlook every single day, and we're going to break down exactly what's happening right in front of our eyes. We're talking about that split-second experience you have every time you click a link. It lasts maybe 3 seconds, sometimes 5 if your connection is dragging. It's just that tiny sliver of time before you actually get to where you want to go. But what if I told you that in that literal split second, you're actually being pulled into this intense, high-stakes digital border crossing? We're going to deconstruct this ubiquitous loading screen, the exact text standing between you and your destination. So grab your digital passports because we are about to analyze the anatomy of the internet's waiting room.
Look, we all do it. Your eyes completely glaze over because you're just so focused on getting to your final destination, right? You just stare blindly at that little spinning wheel or the pulsating logo. But there's text there, microscopic, highly specific text that actually spells out this profound narrative of security, identity, and access. So today, we aren't just going to sit around waiting for the page to load. We're going to actually read that text, and we're going to understand exactly what the internet is doing to us while we wait.
And it all begins with these 3 words, just a moment. I mean, it sounds so incredibly polite, doesn't it? It's like a receptionist asking you to take a seat in the lobby. But don't let it fool you. This is an absolute, unyielding command, completely masquerading as a polite request. You can't skip it. There's no fast pass here. The gates are firmly closed, and this text is telling you, with absolute authority, that your digital journey has just been paused by an invisible force. You, my friend, are officially in a holding pattern.
All right, moving into Section 1, the digital waiting room. Standing at the gates. So here's our ultimate destination, LeetCode.com, the ultimate proving ground for developers. But right now, we're stuck on the outside looking in. We type the address, we hit enter, but we haven't actually arrived. The text explicitly highlights this domain, literally dangling the prize right in front of us. It acknowledges exactly where we want to be, but makes it incredibly clear that we are absolutely not there yet. We're just standing out in the digital cold, knocking on the door.
So, how do we actually get inside? Well, the text gives us this exact 3-step chronological roadmap. Let's walk through this sequence because it turns what feels like a boring 5-second wait into a genuinely suspenseful series of events. Step 1, performing security verification. The investigation kicks off. Step 2, verification successful. Massive sigh of relief, right? You passed the test. And finally, Step 3, waiting for LeetCode.com to respond. The final handoff. This isn't just a loading screen. It's a 3-act play happening in a matter of milliseconds. The system is literally narrating its own internal monologue to you while you wait.
Which brings us to Section 2, the malicious bot threat, the interrogation room.
This right here is the core conflict of our journey. It's you versus malicious bots. And the text explicitly uses this language. It pits you, the human user, against an unseen digital enemy. You aren't just passively waiting for a server to wake up from a nap, you are standing in a digital lineup. The website halted you because it suspects you might be part of some automated, malicious army trying to scrape or attack the fortress. It's an incredibly tense standoff. Essentially, you're presumed guilty until proven innocent.
The text explicitly states its purpose, right out in the open. This page is displayed while the website verifies you are not a bot. Just think about the sheer weight of that statement for a second. What exactly is the website doing in this pregnant pause to judge your humanity? How does it actually know the difference between the micro-movements of your mouse and the rigid scripts of a malicious program? This page is literally an interrogation room mirror. On one side, you're just sitting there waiting. On the other side, complex algorithms are relentlessly scrutinizing your digital footprint to answer one fundamental question. Are you human?
All right, let's look at Section 3, the required credentials, gaining entry.
If you want to continue this journey, you have to present your credentials. You have to enable JavaScript and enable cookies. Now, you obviously know what these are, but in this specific context, they act as your passport and your visa. JavaScript is what allows the security systems to actually run those complex behavioral checks on you. And cookies, those allow them to establish a history of trust. You either present them at the gate or you turn back. It's that simple. And finally, Section 4, the Cloudflare engine, the overseer. Take a look at this tiny detail at the bottom. Ray ID A0F2C666DB3457BC. This incredibly long, complex string is totally isolated. It is your exact digital fingerprint for this specific microsecond in time. You are not anonymous, you have been officially tagged and logged.
If you're suddenly deemed a threat, this is the exact file number they're going to use to identify your interaction. It's a pretty clinical reminder of the insane, granular level of tracking happening in the background of a simple web request.
And finally, we get to the ultimate authority. The text reveals the real architect of our wait, Performance and Security by Cloudflare. This is the overseer. Cloudflare is the entity that built the waiting room, wrote the rules, deployed the JavaScript checks, and stamped you with that Ray ID. They are the guards at the gate of LeetCode.com, promising the website both performance and protection. They're the ones who finally, after just a moment, flip the switch and grant you safe passage.
So, the very next time you click a link and you're faced with that momentary blank screen at a spinning wheel, I want you to remember what's actually happening behind the curtain. You aren't just waiting. You're being audited. You are presenting credentials. You're being judged by invisible algorithms against an entire army of malicious actors. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought drawn directly from the core purpose of the screen we just deconstructed. Are you absolutely sure you aren't a bot? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking questions, and I will see you next time.